Next, we got everything hockey fans must know for the NHL playoffs. Now, y'all love my last NHL video, so if you want more NHL content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I told y'all we were back, all right? Well, I apologize for leaving y'all. All right, we back. So, let me know also too what videos you want me to react to. I'm gonna react to all of them. All right. So, hey.
We decided to do the NHL playoffs are here, and we decided to do a deep dive on all 16 teams. Here's everything you need to know going into the 2024 NHL playoffs. The Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche arguably have the best player in hockey in Nathan MacKinnon, and one of the biggest storylines this season has been how unstoppable this man has been all year long. Down the stretch, however, the Avs have not been good at all. They've blown leads, they've gotten spanked, and their goaltending situation is starting to falter at the worst time. With them going up against a strong defensive team in the Winnipeg Jets, there could be a lot of issues. Tactically, Colorado is a high-possession team that is truly driven by the versatility of Cale Makar. In the offensive zone, Makar's mobility makes him one of the most difficult defenders in the world to stop. He can either activate to open up movement, or they'll slide back Nathan MacKinnon up high so that he can attack passive defenses and open up as a shooting option. Against the Jets, look for Colorado to try and use their legs to skate Winnipeg into the ground in all three zones. As for their X factor, it truly comes down to their middle six and Alex Georgiev. You can't win in the NHL without depth, and after some of the additions that they made at the deadline, a player like Casey Mittelstadt needs to be a difference maker and put up some points come playoff time. Also, if Georgiev can't find his game, then the Avalanche will be fighting an uphill battle all playoffs. It's a long shot, but Avs fans are hoping that Gabriel Landeskog pulls off a Mark Stone and comes back for the playoffs. The Winnipeg Jets. Now, the Jets get the Avs, and despite rumors of them being potential frauds, I still don't want to play any team with Connor Hellebuyck.
Actually, I think I got a couple comments saying that they was frauds. We got to see how, bro. That's hilarious.
Of them being potential
and also, too, y'all saying that the Red Wings really is a very exciting team to watch. You know what I'm saying? They really got robbed out of a playoff spot. And by the way, when was the last time the Red Wings even been to the playoffs? Is this basically a rebuild of the Red Wings? I know back in the day the Red Wings was really good. They had a lot of GOATs on the team. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what happened the years after that. And then now they're good again. So let me know. When was the last time the Red Wings been to the playoffs? We really should have been here, bro.
Jets.
We should have been here.
Now, the Jets get the Avs, and despite rumors of them being potential frauds, I still don't want to play any team with Connor Hellebuyck. The main story for the Jets this season has been a bit similar to last. They were absolute dogs in the first half of the season by leading the NHL and terrorizing the league. But then after the All-Star break, they started to falter just a tiny bit. Instead of going on a full-blown nosedive like they did last season, they found their form and actually finished off strong. Tactically, Winnipeg's success comes from a tenacious play without the puck and elite goaltending. When the Jets are at their best, they meet every battle with aggression and the proper support. They break down teams offensively with strong positioning on the forecheck, and up ice, their structure play can suffocate rush teams like the Avs, who rely on that type of game. In their own end, their X factor is Hellebuyck, as he's their true superstar. For the Jets to have any success, they need to do a good job at protecting the house and using all five players to take away any dangerous cross-seam passes like earlier in the year. Against the Avs, there's going to be breakdowns, there's going to be mistakes, but you need to make life as easy as you can on your superstar, and that starts with protecting the house. Avs versus Jets is going to be a battle to see who the real frauds are, and it's going to be a fantastic series. The Edmonton Oilers. This year started off as a nightmare for Edmonton. This team was in the basement of the league in early December. They fired their coach and had one of the best records in hockey ever since. McJesus has entered beast mode in the second half, and the Oilers are a contender solely on the fact.
We gotta definitely check out. Let me know the players. We can do some player reactions. We already know about McJesus. You know what I'm saying? We know about him. But we gotta see how he played this year. All right, and also too, let me know other GOATs that's been playing. Maybe some that's like rookies, second year. You know what I mean? Some new guys that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people on the Red Wings, young undercover GOATs. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. So we're gonna check them out. Let me know some names in the comments. We're definitely gonna check them out.
Mode in the second half, and the Oilers are a contender solely on the fact of what their two superstars can do to win a series.
Wow,
Tactically, their entire system is built to present McDavid with all kinds of options for an attack. But this series against the Kings will be all about breaking down the Kings 1-3-1. The best way to do that is by building speed behind the puck like Vancouver does here. In the last two playoff series with these teams, the speed of the Oilers wingers and McDavid himself made it extremely challenging for the Kings 1-3-1 to shut the Oilers down. The Kings may find a way to stifle the depth of the Oilers, but McDavid is still going to get his looks because of his speed. If the Oilers can consistently bypass LA and gain the zone, their offensive systems will take over. The Kings are a strong defensive team, but it's hard to contain the best player on the planet if they consistently find ways to enter their zone with possession. The LA Kings. This team looked like they were going to go on the ultimate slide when they lost 8 in a row and fired their coach, but since then they've stabilized and are back to frustrating the hell out of their opponents. Canucks defenseman Nikita Zadorov chirped the strategy after they lost 3-2, saying it's a system where they sit back and don't make plays. The only catch for the Kings is that their first-round matchup is their ultimate kryptonite in the Edmonton Oilers. They have lost 2 years in a row in the first round to the Oilers, and their inability to shut down McDavid and Draisaitl at key moments has been the main reason why. The strategy for the Kings is simple. Force Edmonton's best players to give up possession before entering the zone using the 1-3-1. The Kings know from experience that if Draisaitl and McDavid gain the zone with possession and get extended zone time, it's bad news. If they stay disciplined and structured, they can frustrate the Oilers' top stars and force mistakes once Edmonton takes risks to create offense. Before we continue, I want to thank Ground News for sponsoring today's video. Ground News is the objective political 40 off while are up to date apology the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks are the team this year that completely shocked everyone. Coach Rick Tocchet came in there and set a standard for a level of play that actually won them the Pacific Division after missing the playoffs last year. They were the best team in the NHL in the first half of the season, but people were shouting from the rooftops that their play was unsustainable because of a high shooting.
Why they say is every team frauds? Is not anybody supposed to be in the playoffs? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Who is the frauds? Who is the frauds? Let me know, bro. Let me know, because they saying everybody, this is crazy.
People were shouting from the rooftops that their play was unsustainable because of a high shooting percentage. The Canucks still had a solid second half despite missing their star goaltender Thatcher Demko. Strategically, the Canucks are similar to Colorado in the fact that Quinn Hughes dictates the game in all 3 zones. Because of Quinn's ability to use his legs or vision on the breakout, Vancouver is deadly off the rush. In the offensive zone, the Canucks leverage the skating of both Hughes and Hronek by using scissor routes all over the zone to create confusion for defending teams. The X factor for Vancouver is of course Thatcher Demko. Assuming he will play Game 1, it may take him some time to adjust back to game speed after being out for over a month. He has the ability to steal a series for Vancouver, and if he's not 100% or playing at his best, it could change their dynamic for the entire playoffs. The Nashville Predators. The U2 Predators were the definition of a heater back in March. They got embarrassed 9-2 at home to the Dallas Stars. Management then decided to cancel a planned trip to a U2 concert at the Sphere, and they created a wagon. They went 16-0-2 after that and catapulted themselves into the playoffs. Their matchup with the Canucks will be very interesting as they have their own version of Quinn Hughes and Roman Josi. Like Hughes in Vancouver.
And also, too, let me know, what is the most hyped up matchups? Now, y'all did tell me that the Lightning, I think it was the Lightning and the Panthers, I think they're playing each other. I can look right now. I can look right now real quick. Now I'm looking at it. I think it's the, okay, let's see. The Lightning and the Panthers, that's definitely going to be nice. So definitely got to check that out. Definitely checking the Maple Leafs out no matter what. Let me know other ones in the other series. A lot of people was just saying I should check out every team. Should I do reaction on every single team? How many games is that? Or how many teams play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6? Yeah, I think it's 6. Okay. You want to see? Let me know. Oh, okay, it's awkward. Okay, that's awkward. Okay.
As they have their own version of Hughes and Roman Josi. Like Hughes in Vancouver, Josi dictates the play in all 3 zones for the Preds. Nashville's offense relies heavily on his ability to join the rush, and because of that, it frequently gives them a numbers advantage. Unlike Vancouver, Nashville's ozone attack relies entirely on motions from every player on the ice. It isn't just limited to Roman Josi. Expect this series to be a little bit of a track meet with great goaltending to balance everything out. The Dallas Stars. These sneaky bastards have flown under the radar for far too long, and that may finally come to an end. Consistently one of the best teams in the league all throughout the year, and no one really cares because they aren't the sexiest team to talk about. They don't necessarily have the MVP superstar that everyone talks about, but they are extremely deep. They got 230 goal scorers and 620 goal scorers while having D-men Miro Heiskanen and goaltender Jake Ottinger. Strategically, their X factor and advantage of depth means that they can play a versatile style of game on every line.
He stopped that. I was not expecting him to stop that.
An advantage of depth means that they can play a versatile style of game on every line. Whether the game calls for a physical or more creative touch to create and defend, all 4 Dallas lines can play that style. Dallas was the #1 rush team in the NHL with a +39 goal differential, and they are deadly on the counter. However, their best method of attack could be negated by a relatively passive Vegas system. The Vegas injured reserves. There's always one team who exploits the dumb rules of the LTIR come playoff time, and Vegas is the only team with enough balls to do it year after year. After their captain Mark Stone was out with an injured spleen, Vegas used that extra cap space to pick up Anthony Mantha, Thomas Hertl, and Noah Hannafin. They squeaked into the last spot in the West, but these are still the defending Cup champs, and in shocking news, it looks like Mark Stone will be healthy enough to play in Game 1 of the playoffs. Strategically, the injured reserves play a smart and conservative game that relies on their speedy forwards and big defensemen. Their conservative 1-2-2 forecheck and neutral zone allows their players to stay on top of the puck.
I gotta check out what this is, yo. Now it's all coming to me. I should have been reacted to a video explaining the formations. Really just explaining the whole sport, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Now that I'm thinking about it, we're going to do that. So I don't know if we're going to drop it today or tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the playoffs. But I think all the games is late, though. Oh, that's never mind. Oh, they're not late. Oh, no, they're on Sunday. Oh, it's only 2 games. So it's 2 games tomorrow. So that's the 20th. And then 2 games, 3. All the rest of them on Sunday. Okay. So it's kind of like NFL almost. Okay. All right. So we might definitely drop a video tomorrow trying to explain the formations and stuff like that. I really didn't even know they had zone formations, bro. This is actually crazy. I didn't know that.
1-2-2 forecheck and
I thought they were just out there skating
allows
around,
their players to stay on top of the puck and create turnovers. With Dallas's best attack being the rush, they will consistently want to have 4 skaters join up ice. This will give Vegas opportunities to catch the Stars by surprise by creating a quick turnover for a counter. These 2 teams met 3 times in the regular season, and Vegas won every game by frequently exposing Dallas in the neutral zone. Despite this being a 1v8 seed, this will be a lot closer of a series than people think, especially with Mark the Undertaker Stone being the X factor. The Tampa Bay Lightning. The story with the Lightning remains the same. This core already has 2 cups and are trying to squeeze 1 more before their time passes. They played 500 hockey to stay in the hunt early in the year while Vasilevsky was out, but Nikita Kucherov has arguably been the best player in the world all season. Kucherov is responsible for over 50% of Tampa's offense, and their #1 power play is borderline unstoppable. All systems, both on the rush and in the offensive zone, are heavily influenced by Kucherov. His ability to change speeds, find the active D, and make plays off the wall make him one of the best offensive weapons in hockey. However, Tampa knows that winning a cup takes more than just one man or one line. Their depth isn't as good as it's been in years past, but if they can do just enough to supplement Kucherov's production, the Panthers will have their hands full. Not to mention, a playoff Andrei Vasilevsky should scare the shit out of everyone. The Florida Panthers. Funny enough, most analysts had the Panthers missing the playoffs entirely after making the Cup final last year. With injuries and new personnel, you could see why, but at their best, very few teams in the NHL can hang with them. They won the last game of the season against the Leafs to clinch the Atlantic Division, and their reward is going up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Panthers' strategy is based on a relentless forecheck that uses all 5 players to suffocate the other team. Florida's shot mentality and puck pursuit wears teams down. However, it does leave them exposed to the occasional rush. Fortunately, the Panthers rank first in every important defensive metric under the sun, but Kucherov will still get his looks. If the Panthers' defense can shut down the rest of Tampa's depth, it'll make this series a whole lot easier for the Panthers. If Sergei Bobrovsky and Matthew Tkachuk can find their playoff mojo and get similar performances to last year, they will be the X factor for another deep Florida run. However this series turns out, one team that doesn't deserve to go home early is going to be sent packing. The Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are right there every year, and this season is no different. In years past, scoring
What they call that again? What they call that? What they call it? I forgot. Cricket? No. Is it cricket? It's a certain goal they call it. I think it might be cricket. What's another sport they used them? They say it's a cricket goal. I remember saying it though.
Are right there every year, and this season is no different. In years past, scoring has been what's ultimately let them down. However, they did pick up Evgeny Kuznetsov and, more importantly, Jake Guentzel at the deadline to address that issue. For the Hurricanes, this series will be based around exploiting the Islanders' PK, which is dead last in the NHL. Shout out to former AHL assistant coach Jack Hahn for pointing this out, but the Islanders rotate between a box and a diamond structure on the PK. That's effective if players are quick to pressure, but unfortunately, New York penalty killers are often late to the wall for pucks and leave the slot area open for follow-up plays. With Guentzel now in the mix for Carolina, Sebastian Aho can be the main playmaker on the flank, while Guentzel can cause havoc as the primary shooter and ultimate X-factor. The Hurricanes possess an extra gear of speed that an older Islanders team simply can't match line for line. Look for Carolina to push the pace on the rush and use their speed to force the Islanders to take penalties. The New York Islanders. Typically known as the most boring team in hockey, the Islanders and their fans will gladly give you a giant middle finger as you fall asleep watching them win games. The direction of this team was up in the air when they fired coach Lane Lambert, but bringing in Patrick Waugh has revitalized the team and improved their play. The Islanders are giving up far fewer shots when 5-on-5 under Waugh because they have played a far more aggressive 1-2-2 in the neutral zone and switched to a more hybrid style of defense in their own end. Instead of staying passive and protecting the middle like earlier in the year, the Islanders are now staying attached to their checks along the perimeter to take away time and space. The true X factor for the Islanders will be their goalie. The Islanders may be able to keep up with Carolina at even strength due to its high pressure defense and elite goaltending, but New York's playoff run will unfold at even strength due to its high.
But like, look at this, man. Bro, it literally doing the splits and still catch it. Yo, how flexible are you, bro? I'm convinced, bro. Some of these goalies don't have nothing down there. They don't have nothing down there. It's no way. How are you this flexible, bro? With pads on. What the fuck?
Pressure defense and goaltending, but New York's playoff run will unfold quickly if they get into penalty trouble. That is, of course, if either one of Ilya Sorokin or Semyon Varlamov can be their best killer and steal games. People may want to use this series to catch up on their sleep, but I promise you, you better wake up if the Islanders goalies catch fire. The Boston Bruins. It seems like only the Bruins can lose Krejci and Bergeron and still be one of the best teams in the NHL. Despite a strong year that was somewhat unexpected, if you ask their fans and anyone else around the league, it simply doesn't matter because of what happened last year. Boston has a lot to prove, and they get to do it over a Leaf team who they've historically dominated. This season alone, Boston is 4-0 against the Leafs, with metrics like goaltending and power play being a complete blowout. When I broke down this matchup earlier in the year, Boston dominated Toronto because of their ability to keep their stars on the perimeter. Toronto will look to use motion up high, but if Boston's man-on-man holds steady, there isn't going to be much space for all the Leafs superstars to cook. Offensively, Boston torched the Leafs on the rush in the regular season. Toronto's passivity at the blue line and in the neutral zone was exposed by Boston frequently. If they can't get an easy zone entry, Boston will look to target Toronto's slower defensemen on the forecheck and use their structure to force a rush decision. It ain't pretty for Toronto, but the Bruins and their fans know better than anyone that the regular season simply doesn't matter. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's facts.
Yes. It's that time of the year when the Cup parade plans are truly put to the test. The story has been the same for years. Can the Leafs win a cup with the core four? Matthews scores 69 goals. Nice. Everyone gets their cookies, but can they do it consistently when it matters the most? Offensively, Toronto's creativity and skill is going to give them looks, but as always, the series will be won and lost in the greasy areas of the ice. Look for Toronto to maintain that level of creativity with their depth while attacking the slot in layers against Boston. Toronto's motion offense will be in tough, as Boston's ability to play man-on-man defense high in the zone can cause issues, but if the Leafs superstars can consistently beat their guy one-on-one, it could lead to a game-breaking chance. Defensively, Toronto has always been about fighting the panic in their own end to try and exit the zone with possession. That has hurt them in the past at times when they can just live to fight another day by dumping it out, but how they manage Boston's strong 1-2-2 forecheck will be imperative to
Dang,
limiting
calm
Boston
down.
from their strength, which is possession play. The Leafs' X factor will be in between the pipes with either Ilya Samsonov or Joseph Woll. Similar to the Kings, I'm not sold on the idea of a team going deep with either one of these guys in goal, but that's a later problem for Leaf fans. As for now, you can rejoice that the Cup parade is still on for at least another week and a half. The New York Rangers. The Rangers this year have been so damn impressive. Unfortunately, if you believe in the silly things that make our game special, then you'll know that they can't win because of the President Trophy curse. Putting voodoo aside, this team is a wagon. And like Dallas, there aren't many holes in this lineup, and they have an MVP caliber player in Artemi Panera-Bread. Against a weaker Capital team on paper, look for the Rangers to use their motion offense to create havoc for Washington defensively. The Rangers will continue to give their D the green light to jump up in the play and join the rush. If New York wants a deep run, then their X factor must be Panarin. Last year, Panarin had an abysmal playoffs, but when he's cooking, he makes every single player on the ice more dangerous. Alexis Lafreniere has seen this firsthand this year, and the Rangers will continue to look to pair that with the abilities of Adam Fox. All the stats suggest that the Rangers should win this series, unless, of course, there was a statistical anomaly. The Washington Capitals. The Caps have been playing playoff hockey for the last month, and they squeaked into the last wildcard spot in the final game of the season. This team is the statistical anomaly. However, don't let a minus 37 goal differential fool you entirely. This team got blown out far more often early in the season, but locked in and won a lot of important one-goal games down the stretch. The Caps system is still built around Ovechkin's strengths and his weaknesses, but because of his age and the overall team being an older group, they will have to be a bit more conservative and wait for the Rangers to make their own mistakes. The true X factor will be goalie Charlie Lindgren. Down the stretch, this man carried the Caps to the playoffs and has come up with clutch saves when there's been a Caps breakdown. If he taps into the same magic that the Panthers had last season, Washington can pull off a crazy upset. So, that is everything you need to know heading into the 2024 NHL playoffs. After diving into each system and matchup, who do you have going all the way? Let us know in the comments down below.
Let me know who y'all think will go all the way. Now, me personally, I just wish I knew a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, so I could really fully deep dive with y'all. But like I said, it's all just a learning lesson, you know what I'm saying. I'm learning now. But we gonna get there, all right? Ain't nothing to worry about. So hey,